So let's make a traditional bola. But first, what is a bola? A bola is a traditional hunting weapon, and it's been used by many cultures all around this world, very heavily in South America as well as in North America. But what a bola is simply this. It's some sort of weight on the end of a string, a piece of cordage, a piece of braided leather, where the user will take 1, 2, 3, up to 9 of these, connect them together at the end, spin it around their head, and then throw it at their intended target. And when these limbs wrap around that target's legs, it prevents it from moving. Additionally, when these make contact with something, let's say like a turkey or a goose or some sort of large bird, it could potentially dispatch that animal. So this is kind of a device that's used to hunt game as well as capture game, maybe with the purpose of domestication or to later harvest it. But no matter what, a bola is a very traditional weapon used all around the world. It comes in a variety of shapes and styles. For a bola to work properly, it needs to have 3 limbs with a weighted sort of stone, hardwood, leather pouch at one of the ends of the limbs. Now for the bola I'm making today, I already have 2 of my limbs made, both with hardwood ash weights with some bark tam, deer hide, braided into a length that is just around 2.5, 3 feet. Now to finish off that bola and then test it, I need to make one more limb to make my 3-limbed bola. So I have my hardwood ash weight and I have my 3 pieces of bark tan deer hide I'm going to braid together. My goal is to be able to work my 3 pieces of hide through the hole, secure it with a little bit of a wrap and a little bit of a stopper so my weight doesn't slide off the end. Take my 3 pieces, pinch them together, draw them out just by a little bit of pressure with the hands and start to work them down the hole. A little bit of a twist. Once you get them through, they kind of come out a little bit uneven. I'm looking to just marry all of them up. Make sure that they are all equal in length as I'm sliding my ball towards the end. Once I've pulled all my strands all the way through my weight, I'm going to put a little bit of a wrap right here at the end, and this is just going to secure my strands from sliding out my actual weighted end of my limb when I'm giving it a toss. Pinch my cordage on there and just start wrapping it. When you look at this one, a little bit of a cone, I'm looking to do the same thing here and then trim off the end. Now you could absolutely throw a knot on the end. You'll get the same effect. I just like to wrap mine up. Just keep wrapping until you're creating that little bit of a cone, and then you will just tie it off. Secure it nice and tight. We'll come back and cut that pigtail off when we're done. So for my limb arms, these whole limb pieces here, I'm going to want to braid my hide material or my cordage preference because it's just going to make it stronger. It's going to give me the most durability after these things being swung around the head and thrown at the intended target. My method is very simple. All I'm doing is I'm taking my 3 pieces, one in one hand, one in the other, and then one in the middle, creating the same motion, the same pattern. My right goes over the middle, and then my left goes over the middle. Kind of flare these out, right over the middle, left over the middle. And I'm pinching each and every single time. Right over the middle, left over the middle. And I'm replacing my rights and lefts the whole way down. And eventually you start to create that braid. One, 2, 3 limbs of my bola. And I need to connect all of my ends. And the one thing I want to do is I want to make sure that these are all equal length. So I'm going to take my 3 ends, I'm going to take the shortest one and I'm going to wrap it around twice. And essentially I'm going to tie a knot. And that knot is going to secure all 3 at the same length. So I've just done a little granny knot. Pull that tight. Then I'm going to take each individual piece and take one of its little pigtails and tie it around there. And I'm creating kind of a universal way to connect them all More importantly, creating my handle at the very end I can hold on to and then throw at my intended target. Perfect. So I've got my 3 wraps from each individual limb. Then I can trim these off here, and I'm going to take some more of my cordage and create a little bit more bulbous or thicker handle, and that will be my completed bola. Think of this piece right here as my handle. All right, nice and tight. And that right there is a very effective hunting bola. Now with this 3-strand, definitely want to condition this leather and give it a little bit more life so no water's penetrating into it. Just a little bit of animal fat, a little bit of wax. I'm good to go. Now before we go and test this, let me show you the real simple version to make at home. It's fun for backyard fun, throwing around your friends if you're playing some sort of primitive skills tag. I mean, it could be a thing. The last version is the leather pouch version with, I think, paracord is a pretty good thing and simple thing to use, very cost effective. But you have one leather pouch and you use scrap leather, whatever the case may be, and then I throw beans in it. For the backyard fun version, put some holes about 1/2 inch from the top, and I'm gonna run my paracord through these holes. All right, so once you've gone all the way around, as you can see, I'm gonna go to my end. That's my inside. I'm gonna put like a little double fisherman's knot on the end, so act as a stopper knot. And then I'm gonna do one more overhand knot, just about 1 inch up. This right here is my means of preventing my cordage from slipping out. And then my double fisherman's is my little secondary safety knot. Cram that down into the beans, set and dress all your loops. I take my top, pinch it, fold it right over the top, and I just start wrapping. This creates a real tight little point where all of that material won't be able to escape out of it. Lots of wraps, throwing some knots in there so nothing's sliding. Cut off my excess. And then I've got one more limb to my kind of backyard bola so that my bags are even. So I'm looking at something like this, and I'm gonna put one big overhand knot right at the top. Just like that. Off my excess. And this bola is now complete.
I definitely think the bola is a very effective hunting weapon. I had some impacts on my targets. This is not a good analog. Very rarely you're going to see 3 geese just sit in the open and you can run up on them, swing at something over your head. I think with a hunting tool like this, you have to apply different hunting tactics and different methodologies. I believe maybe more of an ambush, somebody driving game to you in a panic, where you can have these kind of ready to swing and throw and ensnare something or capture something, or even absolutely knock it dead. I do think that the thinner cordage allowed my bola, especially on these little beanbag ones, to fly a little bit faster, but my wood and ash ones with my braided leather just felt stronger. It felt like it was a little bit more sturdy, and if I was to wrap it around an animal's legs or even hit an animal with it, if I ever found myself in that situation, it would absolutely do some damage. Either way, a 3-limb bola, excellent hunting tool. You can see its effectiveness, but again, I believe it requires a different sort of hunting strategy. All right, that is how I make a bola. I appreciate you watching.